Welcome back to ZK Auto Reviews, where steel beasts roar and legends come to life. Today, we take you on a journey back in time, to a war-torn world where grit, innovation, and resilience gave birth to a machine that would change the face of armored warfare forever. I'm talking about the iconic Soviet T-34, a tank so formidable, so influential, that even its enemies whispered its name with grudging respect. Settle in, because this is not just a review. This is a story of revolution on tracks. The year is 1939. Europe is on the brink. The thundering rise of Nazi Germany is no longer just political, it's mechanical. Tanks like the Panzer III and Panzer IV are carving their path across borders. Meanwhile, in the Soviet Union, a new kind of tank is being born in secret. It's not flashy, it's not bulky, but it's designed to survive, adapt, and dominate. At the Kharkiv Locomotive Factory, known as Factory No. 183, a group of visionary engineers led by Mikhail Koshkin are laying down blueprints for something the world has never seen before. Koshkin had a dream, not just to build a tank, but to outthink the enemy. He wanted speed without sacrificing armor, firepower without burdening mobility. What emerged from his ambition was the prototype A-32, which would evolve into the T-34. To prove its strength, Koshkin himself led a 2,000-kilometer test drive, yes, you heard that right, across brutal terrain and hostile climates. The tank made the journey. Koshkin, unfortunately, didn't survive long after. But his legacy? It thundered into history. Now imagine you're a German soldier in 1941. You're pushing into the Soviet Union under Operation Barbarossa. You expect scattered resistance, maybe some outdated T-26 or BT-7s, but then you hear it, a low rumble in the distance, and from behind the tree line emerges something different. Sloped armor, fast movement, and a gun that speaks the language of power. That's your first introduction to the T-34. It's not just a tank, it's a statement. The sloped armor, revolutionary at the time, gave the T-34 incredible deflection capability. Bullets and shells didn't crash in, they glanced off. And it wasn't just smart, it was efficient. The 45mm thickness on the hull, angled perfectly, was more effective than thicker flat armor. And then there's the gun, the 76.2mm cannon in the early variants, capable of punching through German panzers like they were cardboard boxes. Later, as the war evolved, so did the T-34. The T-34-85 variant introduced an 85mm gun that could hold its own even against the formidable WWII, but power means nothing without movement. The T-34's wide tracks gave it agility on the unforgiving. Russian steppes, snow, mud, rubble. Where others got bogged down, the T-34 sailed through. It had a top speed of around 53 km/h, which was lightning fast for a medium tank of its era. And let's not forget the diesel engine, more reliable and less flammable than the gasoline engines used by many others at the time. Inside, things were simple. Crude, some might say. But in war, simplicity is survivability. Fewer parts meant easier repairs. Many T-34s were fixed with nothing more than a wrench, some grit, and a bit of determination. In fact, Soviet factories were churning out T-34s so rapidly that even when one was destroyed, 3 more rolled out to replace it. By the end of World War II, over 57,000 T-34s had been built. That's not just production, that's a storm. And the crews. They loved the T-34. It was their shield, their sword, their home in hell. Sure, it wasn't the most comfortable. Visibility was poor, and communication was sometimes non-existent. Early models didn't even have radios, but it gave them a fighting chance, a real one, against superior forces. It gave them hope. Even the enemy acknowledged its power. German General Heinz Guderian once remarked that the T-34 was vastly superior to any German tank when it first appeared. Imagine that, a Wehrmacht general admitting defeat not in battle, but in design. But the T-34 wasn't just a Soviet hero. After the war, this tank found new life in dozens of nations, from the Korean Peninsula to the deserts of the Middle East, from Cuban jungles to African plains. It became a symbol of resilience, a rugged tool in the hands of revolutionaries, soldiers, and freedom fighters. Some nations still kept them in storage well into the 21st century, a testament to their reliability. There's something poetic about the T-34. It wasn't the strongest. It wasn't the fastest. It wasn't the biggest. But it was just right. It hit the sweet spot between protection, firepower, and mobility. It didn't just fight in a war. It defined one. Today, when you see one in a museum, rusting but proud, you can almost hear the echoes of its tracks tearing across frozen fields. You can almost see the whitewashed winter camo, the red star painted on the turret, the eyes of a crew that refused to give up. You're not just looking at a machine, you're looking at a revolution, forged in steel and fire. Here at ZK Auto Reviews, we celebrate machines that changed the world, and the T-34, without question, changed everything. It taught the world that war isn't won by brute force alone, but by innovation, adaptability, and heart. It's a story of sacrifice and brilliance, of strategy and sweat, and it's one that deserves to be remembered. If you enjoyed this journey through history and horsepower, don't forget to like the video, drop your thoughts in the comments, maybe even share your favorite tank or battle, and of course subscribe to ZK Auto Reviews for more incredible stories from the world of armored legends. Because here, every tank has a tale,